So I was honestly going back and forth about what kind of video I wanted to make. Did I make like a long video about comparing Warframe to TFT, or did I just want to do air my grievances? And I think honestly, since I don't have the Warframe information that I want, in order to make an actual video that's in the know, I decided to just say my piece about the game. So the First Descendant is essentially a Korean Warframe with the sex appeal slider to the max. So it's a fun game. It's a fun looter shooter. Overall, it has a lot of performance issues, but and I remember this from the beginning of Warframe. The game did have like a stale first 5 years. Now the difference between Warframe and the First Descendant is that Nexon's not known for their mercy of letting games last long unless they're pushing a profit. So my biggest issue with this game is actually the grind, and it's not the way you go. Every game has grind. I know that. Listen, hear me out, okay? Hear me out. The main difference between the grind here and in Warframe is that it's streamlined. It's not monotonous. You want a Warframe, you go one place. As far as I remember, you go one place and boom, you farm that shit over and over till you get all your parts. But the annoying thing in this game is that there are so many artificial grind walls. It gets really monotonous super fast and really aggravating. For instance, I've reset my account for reasons, but basically I spent a month farming this here. I got everything except for the code, and I went for in the okay. So now this is where it's gonna get annoying, right? This is where people are. This is where my main concern with my main issue with the game lies. So in order to get any of these characters, right, to get any of them, you have to go through multiple stages to get different parts, which in itself is fine. It's just that in order to get those parts, you have to do so much other shit. For instance, this is the most annoying part. So enhanced cells right here, right? So it's not this or this or this. It's always the blueprint that's the most annoying to get because they make you go through so many. Okay, they make you go through so many hoops and artificial grinds that are based off of poor ass RNG. And personally, I don't think these percentages are accurate because Nexon's already been caught rigging the RNG in one of their other games for Gotcha. And honestly, after came out, I've never really trusted Nexon. I'm gonna come to percentages just being displayed. Now, the issue I have is so when it comes to like certain blueprints like this one specifically, because it's the only one I have left, I have to go to one of these areas, which is here. Now, this is essentially like I'm just going to show you. It's probably easier to show you. Okay, so these are little as outside open world little world events, where you got to go in, destroy 3 things, and then a boss spawns. Actually, I'm just going to show you since they're waiting. There's people here already, and should be up any moment now. Yep. All right, here we go. Now watch. You go in, destroy that, destroy these, and then a big guy spawns. Right. Boom. Right there. Now once you kill this guy, that's essentially all there is to this. And now you have to do that over and over again in order to get the pattern that's needed to get what I need. Now, the other issue with that is normally I would be fine, but there is a hidden caveat to this. You could increase your chances by getting that pattern by playing a specific character called Sharon, and she's like a stealth character. And what happens is, if you're playing with Sharon, you can come in here and you'll see those things that they destroyed earlier. You'll see like a silhouette, and Sharon has to go in here stealth and race the clock and disable all 3 of them. And then once you do that, that actually increases your odds of getting the actual pattern that you want. Now, the other issue, we're not done. The First Descendant is not done busting your balls. Once you get that pattern, it's still not over. Because once you get the pattern, now you have to go to another spot. You have to go to another spot that is in, let's see, the beginning of anything, probably not. Okay. Yep, didn't get it. Okay, so now usually when you get the amorphous pattern, you're gonna go to here. All right, you're gonna go there. You gotta take the pattern there. If you get like a pattern or 10 patterns or even 20 patterns, this is not an endless free farm that you can do, which is the other issue. So this is another one of their artificial grind gates. You go over here. Okay. So this is an underground one. Go in here, and you go to these things. They're called voice abyssal shards. Now the issue here is that you go here, and in order to trigger this, you have to use a certain type of void shard. Now it's best to do this on hard because the percentages go up. But when you go on hard, the resource cost also increases. And usually what happens is a boss or a wave of minions will spawn, and you gotta kill them, and then you get another little ball that shows up where you can use the pattern. It's the same thing with a boss fight. It's literally the same thing as a boss fight. In any of the boss fights, after you beat them, a giant ball appears where you can go to get your gear, or an RNG chance to get it. That percentage goes from 6% to 10%. And 16% if you get a stabilizer, which is also another pain in the ass to get because they don't tell you directly where to get them. But you can go to various operations to get a shape stabilizer form. The issue with that is, guess what? It's another RNG aspect. It is another G to get it. So even though you do a perfect score, it's still like a 20%. I think it's anywhere between 10 to 20% to get that shape stabilizer. And that shape stabilizer only gives 6%. Therefore, it's 6%. There's 16%, which is still very, very, very low odds. And in my opinion, like I said earlier, I don't really trust NEXON to be giving me correct information after they've already been caught red-handed rigging the gacha percentages in their other game. It was a big deal about it. It was like I don't know if it was this year or last year, but it was a big deal. Um, but I'm gonna go there right now, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about with the shape stabilizer, and then we'll end the video pretty soon because I don't want to make this a long video. I just want to get my grievances out, and honestly, like why I don't know if this game is gonna survive for many reasons, but I don't, yeah. I don't have the correct information regarding Warframes. I wanted to make an accurate comparison, but I don't. And I'd rather not be talking out my ass. So I decided to just complain about what I don't like. So, okay, here. Shape stabilizer form, right? See? 20%. Maximum is 20%, regardless. It's 20%. And it's based off of the score. So, and even if you change the 250%, you still don't. This increases your score faster, but it also makes the game harder, which isn't really a problem for me. But it's the RNG. Like it's literally the RNG, and it's just the game has too much RNG in it. And the issue with that is, like I said, if I want to build someone or build anybody, because now I go here, I get this, I go here, I get the little ball that drops that has the cell in it, then I have to stay there, farm that area that you saw me in the beginning. I have to farm that for God knows how long. Potentially, the best min-maxing is to play characters that I have no interest in. That's another thing. They force you to play characters that you do not want to play to get to maximize it. So if you wanted to min-max, you'd have to be playing Sharon, take all the time to level her up so that you can solo in hard, and then farm this for hours on end if you're not lucky, and then take those same patterns to that void machine that I showed you. But the issue doesn't end there. In order to get those void shards, you can do various things. You know, you could do missions. You can do missions. Most of these operations offer. Mostly everything in here offers those. But I think from what I read the most and what I've seen the most, um, accurate, not accurate, the most effective way to get it in like the biggest bulk is inside, which are basically called defense. I mean, it's wave missions. You gotta defend an item for waves at a time, and at the end, which takes like 20 minutes or so, depending on how good your team is, it takes you roughly 20-30 minutes to get it for roughly 50 to 100 shards per run. And again, it's totally RNG based on how much you get. There is no set amount that you're gonna get every time you go in there, which just makes it more annoying. And then you have to go through the whole grind all over again. You know, until you get that actual item that you want. And for one, it's fine, but at the same time, if the percentages weren't so dog, it really kills a lot of people's interest. Like there, this has got to be the game that has the worst case of FOMO I've ever played in my entire life. And I play almost everything. I play gachas, I play MMOs, I play a lot of stuff, and this game feels like it abuses the heck out of FOMO. Because if you don't want to go through all that grind, sure, you can buy the characters. But guess how much the characters cost? It varies, right? The lower end ones that no one really wants to play with, they're like 300. And that's like, let's see. That is roughly $10. Yep, that's $10. Now the other ones cost $20. Now the ultimate ones, which is what you know, it's 3,000. That's 3,000. How much is 3,000? 3,000 is $70. So in order to save yourself from all that annoying grind, you gotta shell up $70. Honestly, it's even even Warframe isn't that greedy, man. Like, and if they're trying to directly compete with Warframe, which let's be honest, they're literally the Korean version of Warframe. The sheer amount of greediness coming from Nexon, they're never gonna learn, and they're never gonna get a foothold in the gaming industry again and get like a banger seller if they keep doing this. They do this in all their games. Their greed gets a hold of them, and then they kill a game within a year or so. This game is not going to. This game's not going to survive if they keep doing that. Not to mention the repetitive game modes and mechanics that they keep recycling in this game. Anyways, that's my take on it. That's really my gripe with the game. I love it, but it's way too much RNG involved in getting a character, and they abuse the hell out of FOMO. So let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Peace.